Ladies and gentlemen, I was really kind of hoping that I wouldn't have to talk about Chicago again because we talked about it so much, and we could probably do a stream on Chicago each and every day of the week about some new bullcrap that's going on out there. And it's really sad, and it doesn't seem to be slowing down at all. A lot of these stories involve the children, our babies, and it just seems like, I don't know, there's just this big, huge disconnect. When I'm talking about this, I'm talking about between this being recognized in society as if it's not a big deal, but then when you have things going on like your Black Lives Matter and your George Floyd's and things like that, it eats up all of the media news and attention, and then we forget about our children. I don't know if any of you guys have ever noticed that, which is why that's the significance of our channel. We advocate for children first. We're going to give them a voice when I feel like they didn't have a voice in the media prior to what we started doing. At least not enough. Okay? Any single time this happens, there needs to be protest. There needs to be people out seeing something and saying something, getting these thugs reported, telling on them, right? There should be a hell of a lot more trials for thugs as opposed to these police all the freaking time. I get it, when you break the law, it is what it is, but I'm just saying, I think that we do a lot of this stuff to ourselves. When it comes to people from my community who share my skin color, it seems like every time something bad happens to us from somebody that looks like us, there's not any outrage about it. Okay? Let me show you guys a picture of this baby girl, because she is the subject of this story, and she's a beautiful, innocent little baby. She was 7 years old, and she was shot and killed, yes, inside of a McDonald's parking lot. And I'm sure some of you guys might be wondering, if you haven't already looked up the story, how did that even happen? Why did this happen? What did this little girl do so wrong to deserve a demise like that, right? We're going to talk about that as well. But before we get there, let's bring up her father. Let me see if I can get his picture up here. Let me get Dad's picture up here. Dad and daughter. That guy is the father of that 7-year-old little girl, and she was killed after their car was sprayed with bullets outside of a McDonald's. Has multiple previous drug arrests and may have been the intended target, according to the police. Hashtag not my words, for those who might want to get mad at me talking about I'm spreading false propaganda. Well, get mad at Daily Mail, get mad at CNN, ABC, whoever it is, all of these news outlets. Get mad at them, okay? Because they're the ones that look these records up and put this information out there. So it sounds like Dad was on his thug lion tip, had his daughter with him, and some more thug lions came to maul him, but they ate up everything in sight, which happened to be his precious baby girl. Which is why I also have this shirt on, hashtag babies for benefits. And I also have this shirt, when you date thugs, you date death. We're going to get back to this in a moment. Jonte Adams, who was 29 years old. Let me see if I can get one more photo of him up here. I think I got a solo shot of him. Let me see if I can find one. Let me see if I can find one of Dad. If I don't, I'll pull it. There we go. That's probably the best picture of him right there. Jonte Adams, who was 29 years old, whose 7-year-old daughter by the name of Jaslyn was killed in Chicago Sunday, was arrested on suspicion of manufacturing and dealing heroin twice in 2012 and twice in 2013, according to court records. He was convicted of an unspecified drug offense in 2016 and was arrested for possession of heroin in 2018. There's a reason that I'm bringing this up. Let's keep going. In 2012, he was one of several suspected gang members. Let me say that again. He was one of several suspected gang members who was arrested for operating an open-air heroin market in the East Garfield Park neighborhood of Chicago. Jaslyn Adams, who was 7 years old, that beautiful little girl right there, this baby was hit multiple times. Let me see if I could show y'all the picture of this car, because they pretty much Swiss cheese this car. Let me see if I can get you a good close-up. How about right here? Can y'all see this picture well enough? I blew it up big enough on the screen so y'all should be able to see that. That car has an amount of bullets in it I can't even count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 1 in the gas tank, 19, 20 in the door. Wow. 30, 40 shots? You said 39 times. Thank you, illicit deeds. 39 times. And I want y'all to understand. And here's a thing that I want to point out. And here's why I believe that it's possible that these thugs who did this in retaliation to him might have actually been targeting that little girl. Do you guys notice where they were shooting primarily? From this picture alone, can any of you guys make a determination as to what they were aiming for? Think about an adult, probably should have been in the driver's seat, right? Which have been in the front left-hand side of the vehicle. Where do your children usually sit in the car? Huh? Oh, that's right. Your children usually sit in the rear of the car, in the back seat. And I usually, when I have my daughter in the car, I usually like to be able to turn to my right and look at her. And it's usually easier if she's in the passenger's rear seat on the right-hand side, which is where the majority of the bullets were shot. There are just some things that when I look at it, I just pick up on these things. I don't know if y'all see things the way that I see it. So in the media, even in this article, they said that they don't believe that the little girl was the target. I believe it looks like the majority of the bullets were shot in the rear, on that passenger side where the baby would have been. I think that's actually intentional, and I think they meant to not only kill that baby, but kill the dad as well. Now, that's my evidence. Let's keep talking about this. Jaslyn Adams, 7 years old, was hit multiple times and rushed to a hospital where she was pronounced dead. Shocking photos show the family's silver Infiniti car sprayed with bullets, with the vehicle shot by two different gunmen, according to the police. And again, 2 different gunmen, I'm sure they weren't shooting in the exact same area. So one might have been shooting from the front, one was shooting from the rear. At least that's what it looks like. Jaslyn Adams was, I think that's the dad. I can't remember. What is his name? The dad's name is Jonte Adams. Okay, so they're talking about the dad. The dad was also seriously injured after being shot once, while he and Jaslyn waited in line to get some fast food at trash-ass McDonald's. You know what's funny? How we talk about doing right for our children, but we feed them trash food, but we expect to get something good out of our children. Don't y'all think that's crazy? If they say they are what you eat, then what are you when you eat trash and continue to consume nasty-ass manufactured fast food? We're actually going to talk about Safari here in a moment because he's partially connected to this story. Hopefully, I didn't lose anybody on that. We feed our children trash, but want something good to come out of it if they say you are what you eat. Adams was also seriously injured after being shot once while he and Jaslyn waited in the fast food line, and has since shared a Facebook post calling his late daughter his protector. Let me read that again. This person said that he shared a Facebook post calling his late daughter his protector. Do I need to read it again? Did everybody absorb that? Do you see how weird and messed up that sounds? His protector? Why would you even, knowing that this happened, why would you even say those words? Why does that even come to your feeble little mind? There's a reason that I'm bringing that up. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and skip all of the bull crap. Let's go ahead and talk about that part. Let's go ahead and talk about this protector. Let me see. I think I saved the screenshot. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on just a second. Give me a moment. I don't know if I saved it. Did I save it here? Okay, yes I did. All right. I'm going to show you guys a screenshot of somebody else's YouTube video. But since I don't promote other YouTube channels, I'm not going to actually give the name, but you can see from the title what it says. Okay? That's just how I am. I don't believe in promoting a bunch of people's YouTube channels because I don't know if this is valid or not. But the individual that posted this video titled it and said, "Father used 7-year-old Jaslyn Adams as a shield when shot 6 times at Chicago McDonald's drive-thru." This video is still up. It doesn't have a lot of views. It might be easy for you guys to be able to find it. But you see how it's titled. I literally screenshot this in case they decide to take it down. Now here's the reason why I bring it up. Again, he called his own daughter his protector, right? The dad referred to the daughter as his protector. What the guy in this YouTube video is trying to claim is that, and I watched a little bit of it, I listened to a little bit of it, and I had to cut it off. But the dude was trying to claim that as the shooting started, this man grabbed his daughter and held her to protect himself from the hail of bullets that were rained at his car. All I'm doing is just bringing it up as a talking point. I don't know if that's valid or not. I'm just showing you somebody made a YouTube video that was 16 minutes long, and that's what that person, that individual claimed. But they also have a Facebook post saying that this man called his daughter his protector. That's kind of a weird choice of words, especially when somebody's trying to accuse you of holding your daughter up as literally a human shield. But we've actually seen thugs do this before, right? Let's move on. Police are still hunting for the suspect, and it's not clear what led up to the shooting, but I'm sure we can take our guess. Which happened just after 4 p.m. in the city, in the Windy City's Hammond Square neighborhood, but police said to be working on a theory that Jonte Adams was the intended target of the gun attack. Let's keep going. They also have a screenshot here. I'm not really sure what this, let me just pull this up because I don't really know what this means. And I know I got this same screenshot from illicit deeds, if I'm not mistaken. This one. And where's my other one? This one. Let me see what this means. There's a screenshot of the final text said to have been sent by Jaslyn to her Aunt Jasmine as she traveled to Chicago's McDonald's, where she was later shot dead. Jonte Adams, who was shot in the torso and rushed to a nearby hospital, posted a message on his Facebook showing several photos of him and young Jaslyn. So if y'all want to, y'all can pause this and go back and look at these screenshots. I don't really know what they mean. I'm going to skip past it for now because I got more to say. If you guys are listening, do me a favor and please click that thumbs up if you're listening to this stream. Our goal is to try to get to 600 thumbs up if we can get there. So if you'll look down for a moment, please click the thumbs up. It'll help share this story and let more people know that we're here talking about this, okay? He defended his parenting in a post and he wrote, I never did anything but show her how a man supposed to a woman. I think he meant treat a woman. Anything she asks, she basically get. I don't give a F what y'all think because y'all ass ignorant. Even though he wrote an ignorant statement, but let's move on. Jonte Adams added in this post, I taught her how to use the bathroom, brush teeth, all that. And of course, he didn't use any punctuation. Nothing but smiles when we were together. I know my mistakes I made out here, but I already blame myself. So y'all trying to do it not gonna work. And he used no punctuation at all. Just said, screw punctuation. He wrote, my baby just became my protector. He also posted a screenshot of a text conversation between his daughter and her Aunt Jasmine moments before the shooting. Jasmine was asking her aunt what she wanted to order from McDonald's. Another Facebook video appears to show Jasmine driving her father's car while sitting on his knee and was posted as a tribute in the wake of her death. And I'll show you guys that video if y'all want to see it. Another Facebook video appears to show, oh, excuse me, I already read that. Meanwhile, distressing video shot by those at the scene sees officers pulling the little girl out of the car and rushing her into the back of a police car in a bid to get her to the hospital as quickly as possible. We try to skip forward here just a little bit. Y'all bear with me. A person can be heard exclaiming, OS, they killed a baby. Jonte Adams frantically called his mother, Jasmine's grandmother, LaWanda McMullen, after the shooting. He said, Ma, come get me. They just shot my baby. McMullen told the news. Jasmine's aunt, Tawny McMullen, said her niece was a beautiful and really sweet child. Let me see. Jasmine was a student at Cameron Elementary School, and she was nicknamed Pinky, 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 because she was bright and pink was her favorite color. Cook County Medical Examiner's Office confirmed Jasmine of Oak Park was shot several times before her death. The bullet struck the girl's body multiple times while her father was hit in the torso. Their car was left riddled with bullet holes, and shell casings were seen all around the vehicle. Police say that the shooting was believed to be gang-related. Speaking of gang-related, and speaking of thugs, let me show you guys a picture if you don't mind. Let me see if I can get this picture up. Y'all bear with me just a moment. See if I can brighten this up just a little bit to make sure y'all can see it. Where'd my picture go? Hold on. Where's my picture? I want y'all to take a look at this. Actually, we're going to go back and look at that. Matter of fact, I'm going to pull that other picture up while we're talking about this one. And where's the one that my friend Elissa Deed sent me? Let me see if I can find that real quick. I want y'all to take a look at the photo on my screen. Actually, this one. Uh-oh. Didn't want to open that. Actually, I could probably adjust it from here. Let me see if I can lighten this up for you just a little bit to make it a little bit easier to see. It's gonna go JPEG. Yes, replace. And sorry about that. Y'all bear with me a moment. It took me a little bit of time to pull this picture up, but we're also looking at this picture. What do you guys notice? Does anybody notice anything weird? Let me make this a little bit bigger on the screen in case y'all might have missed it. Can you guys see that? Where yo strap at? Is there anybody out there that wants to tell me that I'm wrong for calling this man a thug? And I want y'all to remember that thug is not a color, it's an action. I'm talking about this man's actions, how he lived his life, how was he a so-called father to this little girl, but yet was living such a foul, destructive, drug-filled, gang-filled life. Where your strap at? Provoking gang members or the ops. And look at how his daughter met her demise. I want you to also look at that picture on the right-hand side with his goons holding up stacks of cash, right? Typical thug behavior. Want to point that out. Jaslyn and her father were rushed to John Stroger Hospital, where Jaslyn was later pronounced dead. The father is currently in serious condition. So apparently he wasn't so serious that he couldn't post that stupid message that he posted. Anyway, the exact circumstances leading up to the shooting remain unclear. No suspects, I repeat, 0 suspects are yet in custody with an ongoing investigation. And I want you guys to also remember this. They have surveillance footage. They got this on video. This is McDonald's parking lot, so it's got a lot of cameras out there all around that area. They got videotape, but nobody's been arrested yet. They haven't named any suspects yet. Marvin Edwards, president of 100 Men Standing, a group advocating against gun violence, where they mean thug violence, but thugs with gun violence, encouraged anybody with information related to the shooting to come forward. He said, "We're sick and tired of this, and it makes no damn sense. Whoever pulled this trigger on this young lady and took her life, trying to get something to eat from McDonald's, whoever is housing these individuals, or who I like to call thugs, turn these people in. We are pleading with you. Do not let this go undone. Turn them in right away. This family are going through a living hell right now because of the acts of some fools." But I want y'all to remember that well before this beautiful little 7-year-old girl even was born or thought of being born, that her dad was out selling drugs and out getting convictions and arrested for drugs and participating in gang behavior. Way before his daughter was born. So I want y'all to bookmark that in your minds. We'll come back to it. Let me go ahead and give you guys the fair usage. And I got a little bit more to say about this. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. Let's take a pause real quick. We're live right now. We got 500 people watching. We got 300 thumbs up. Our goal is 600 thumbs up, so we need about twice that many. So the more people click that thumbs up, it'll help bring more people here. But if y'all would, if you're watching, please help us click that thumbs up, okay? Want to make sure we say that before we keep going. Here we go. Let's get it. Oh, I guess I better turn the sound on.
A 7-year-old girl is dead, shot and killed in a McDonald's drive-thru on Chicago's west side. And CBS 2's Stephen Graves talked with the family of Jaslyn Adams, who are begging people to put away their guns.
Really emotional right now for my family.
Tearful, pain-filled words from Jaslyn Adams' aunt as she remembers the 7-year-old as funny and joyful.
She just was sweet and outgoing, real talkative, real lovable.
Family spoke from right outside Stroger Hospital where the girl died. A Chicago police officer rushing her here from about 2 miles away inside this bullet-ridden car. It was sitting in a McDonald's drive-thru at Roosevelt and Kedzie. At least 30 shell casings surrounded the vehicle. The tinted windows on the side were shot out. Bullet holes in the frame and back window as well. Investigators say Jaslyn was hit multiple times around 4:15 Sunday afternoon. Family says her father, Jonte Adams, was also hit. Chicago police saying the 29-year-old man was shot in the upper body. He should survive. Jaslyn's grandmother tells CBS 2 Jonte called her as soon as the shooting happened, saying, quote, "They shot my baby." Chicago police now looking into who those people are. It's unclear if this was targeted, but officers have not said the public is at risk. But for now, family devastated that their innocent girl is gone, someone who simply loved TikTok videos and laughing.
Y'all, please put the guns down. Our kids want to play. My kids can't even go out the door because of this gun violence. Y'all, please put the guns down.
Stephen Graves, CBS 2 News.
We begin with breaking news right now at 9. A 7-year-old girl is dead tonight after being shot 6 times at a McDonald's drive-thru in Lawndale.
She was in the car with her father, who was also shot. WGN's Megan Dwyer is live at Stroger Hospital with the latest. Megan.
Taman and Jackie, this happened just before 5 o'clock this evening. I am told that this father doesn't get to see his daughter that often. Today, they had a chance to spend some time together, and he took her to McDonald's because that's where she loved eating. Now, police sources tell me.
Let me back that up like a U-Haul truck. Let me let y'all hear what Megan Dwyer said again. All right, Miss News Reporter Lady, would you mind saying that again? Because that might have went over some people's heads real quick. Let's listen at this, at what she said again. Because y'all are asking, where was the mom? This baby was primarily always with her mother. And I've told you guys, I like the fact that mothers do give the fathers an opportunity to be fathers in their children's lives. But maybe we need to put a stipulation on that. Not if they're thugs and gangbangers and drug dealers. Maybe don't let your kids be around those type of dudes. Let me let y'all hear it again.
Hospital with the latest. Megan.
Let's listen again.
Taman and Jackie, this happened just before 5 o'clock this evening. I am told that this father doesn't get to see his daughter that often.
You hear that?
Taman and Jackie, this happened just before 5 o'clock this evening. I am told that this father doesn't get to see his daughter that often.
He doesn't get to see his daughter when?
Taman and Jackie, this happened just before 5 o'clock this evening. I am told that this father doesn't get to see his daughter that often.
And when the mother allows this man, this thug, this criminal to see his daughter, this is what happened. This is what happened.
Today, they had a chance to spend some time.
It's really sad, and I know the mom probably feels bad, but the mom should probably feel even worse the fact that this dude got a criminal history longer than a mile strip. He's been in at least legal trouble since 2012, way before they gave birth to this little girl. And she had a baby with a thug. What did you expect?
Together, and he took her to McDonald's because that's where she loved eating. Now, police sources tell me tonight this was a targeted gang shooting, and the shooter probably did not see the girl in the car because of tinted windows.
Please put the guns down, please.
The family of 7-year-old Jaslyn Adams, nicknamed Pinky, says she was free-spirited, fun, loved to dance, and make videos on TikTok.
It's hard right now.
Today, the Cameron school student was shot 6 times while sitting in a car in a McDonald's drive-thru with her dad in the 3200 block of West Roosevelt. Someone opened fire, riddling the car with bullets.
It hits home with all of us.
Police tried to save her in the back of a squad car doing CPR on the way to the hospital, but the talkative 7-year-old did not survive.
You got cowards out here killing and shooting babies in Chicago.
Her dad, 28-year-old Jonte Adams, was shot once. He's in stable condition at Stroger Hospital tonight. His mom says he called her right after the incident and said, "They shot my baby girl." Now her family, especially her young siblings and cousins,
My baby taking it so hard right now.
are trying to understand why.
My 8-year-old baby says she don't even want to go out and play because she's scared she gonna get shot.
If you had any kids, have you ever took your kids to McDonald's? Have you ever took your kids to eat? You pumped 6.5 bullets in that baby. That don't make you a man. It don't make you a gangster. Something wrong with you.
Tonight, activists are also vowing to find whoever did this,
Turn them in.
saying they broke the code of the streets.
This gotta stop.
And that is a thug code that too many times the black race embraces. Sad to say that.
Morning, a family pleads for an end to violence after a 7-year-old girl was shot to death.
Glenn Marshall joins us live from Stroger Hospital. Glenn?
Yeah, good morning. It's another senseless gun violence situation that we're dealing with right now. Now, the father of that 7-year-old is...
It's not gun violence. It is thugs with gun violence. It's not the... Guns are just inanimate objects until a human being picks it up and does something with it. The guns themselves aren't jumping out of the holsters, taking the safety off, loading themselves and shooting people. That's not what's going on. It's people with these tools that are doing horrible things with it. It's not gun violence. It's thugs. Thugs with guns.
in here inside Stroger Hospital recovering from one gunshot wound. He was with his child yesterday at their favorite restaurant, well, the daughter's favorite restaurant, which is McDonald's.
The baby loved McDonald's, the most trash food that I can think of outside of instant meals and those ramen noodles and all that other bull crap and hot dogs. Probably worse than that. It's terrible.
Those gunshots rang out and she was killed. Take a look at this picture that we have of her. This is Jaslyn Adams. She was with her father in that drive-thru at the...
Y'all gotta stop feeding y'all children that crap, man. Start cooking for your children. If y'all love them, man, start cooking for your children. Feed them something healthy, please.
West Side McDonald's near the corner of Kedzie and Roosevelt. It was still daylight, just a little after 4 p.m. when police say someone opened fire on that car the 7-year-old was in with her father, who was 28-year-old Jonte Adams. She was shot 6 times. Her father was hit once in the torso. Police said they tried to save the little girl by administering CPR while taking her in a squad car to Stroger Hospital. That's where she was later pronounced dead. Now, Jaslyn went to Cameron Elementary School, and her family told us the little girl loved to dance and make TikTok videos. She was affectionately known as Pinky to her family and close friends. Her family said things that she loved to eat was McDonald's. That's where the place where she lost her life. Her siblings and the rest of her family are now left heartbroken. They joined the chorus of people who have a message to anyone who's thinking about pulling a trigger.
Y'all, please put the guns down. Our kids want to play. My kids can't even go out the door because of this gun violence. Y'all, please put the guns down, please. My 8-year-old baby says she don't even want to go out and play because she's scared she gonna get shot.
If you had any kids, have you ever took your kids to McDonald's?
Okay, we've already heard this. I'm gonna go ahead and skip to the next video.
Good morning. Now, that little girl's father is...
7-year-old girl shot and killed at a fast food drive-thru in the Homan Square neighborhood.
Brittany Garzillo is live for us outside Stroger Hospital. Brittany?
Well, Corey and Don, we've learned the name of that little girl, 7-year-old Jaslyn Adams. Her grandmother wants her to be remembered as a fun and lovable, free-spirited child. She says that Jaslyn was with her dad at McDonald's, something she loved to do when this tragedy happened. Her grandmother says Jaslyn's father, Jonte Adams, was also shot and taken here to Stroger Hospital. The family says he is stable as they plead with the community to stop this gun violence.
I don't think the mom has come out and said anything, but some of that could be because of channels like ours where we tend to call that type of thing out when it comes to procreating with thugs and bringing your children to the thug zoo and playing with the thug lions, like we like to describe it, when it comes to these thugs and dating thugs, right? So there's a possibility that maybe the mom hasn't come out and spoke yet. I'm not sure, but we do know, based on what they've reported, that the dad wasn't really around his kid. This is like one of the first times he got to actually spend some time with her. She's 7 years old. She was 7 years old. How was that like the first time you got a chance to be around your kid? How does that even make any sense? And the first time in a long time, the mom finally lets you be around your kid, and this BS happens. Think about that. Let me say thank you real quick. I know y'all are donating, and I'm sorry I'm not reading it. I'm trying to make it through this particular story. But let me say thank you, Michelle in Cash App, if you're listening. Thank you also to, Laura. Wow. Ooh, wow. Laura, if you're listening, I don't see your chat name, but she said this is a we thing. So thank you very much. I got your donation. I will keep the amount that you sent private. Very significant amount, but thank you very much. Patricia Modique, thank you as well. Thank you to Stephen with a D in the super chat on the chat screen, and Southern Girl showing love. Thank you. Okay. Thank you guys so much. Let's keep going.
Please put the guns down. Our kids want to play.
An emotional vigil tonight in memory of a 7-year-old girl shot and killed yesterday while waiting in a car in a Holman Square drive-thru. The first grader shot 6 times.
And tonight, WGN's Dana Rebick. She is live at Chicago Police Headquarters with the families. Please, Dana.
Well, police have not yet made an arrest in this case. Tonight, faith leaders offering a reward that they announced at a large vigil for this little girl.
She was a lovable, fun person, very talkative, joyful, always dancing, always singing.
7-year-old Jaslyn Adams lost her life yesterday after being shot in her father's car in this McDonald's drive-thru at Roosevelt and Kedzie in Holman Square.
Y'all don't know how hard it is for me to, my grandbaby just run up, granddaddy. It hurts.
That dude seems like he's about my age. He seems kind of young to be a granddad, but I mean, you know, I know some people have children maybe even quite a bit earlier than I did. So, you know, I guess that's not that abnormal, so to say. But dang, man, that's so sad. So we've heard from everybody except the mom. We've heard from both grandparents. We've heard from the dad, but we have not heard from mom.
Granddaddy, it hurts. We lift you up, we exalt you, we thank you.
Tonight, her grandparents were surrounded by West Side community members in front of the McDonald's, which was inscribed with Pinky, the first grader's nickname after her favorite.
Oh, wow. Guys, some of y'all might think this is inappropriate. I'm going to say this, and I know it's not going to sit well with some of y'all sensibilities. Do y'all think it's appropriate to go write, spray paint, whatever the hell it is that they did? That doesn't even look like chalk. That looks permanent. Why would they vandalize the McDonald's? Am I wrong for asking that question? Am I not looking at this in the right way? Not only to do something that asinine, then look at what they do right after that. They're going to go litter their own community with all these balloons. Look at this.
The first grader's nickname after.
They go vandalize the building and then go release 10,000 balloons.
Her favorite color, which many wore to the vigil.
I have a 4-year-old daughter.
Candlelit vigil, wear some shirts. Why release balloons when I actually had somebody email me and told me that somebody's balloons had got into like their stable because they keep horses, and if the horses would have ate those balloons, it would have killed the horses. That stuff litters. It kills animals in the water. It litters so many different places, trees, people's yards, power lines. It could cause power outages. It could cause a helicopter crash. It could cause an airplane crash. It could kill birds. Just never. Stop the balloon releases. Blow bubbles, not balloons.
That I visit this McDonald's right here so often. We could have been in the drive-thru line.
That's right.
When this happened.
Investigators believe Jaslin's father, 29-year-old Jonte Adams, was the intended target. He was hit in the torso once. His daughter shot 6 times. According to the Chicago Tribune,
look at all those bullets. Look at all those markers. Y'all see that? Let me back it up just a hair.
Target.
Look at all these markers on the ground.
He was hit in the torso once. His daughter shot 6 times. According to the Chicago Tribune.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. How many did you say, Elissa Deeds? You said 37? 37 gunshots.
45 spent shell casings were found at the scene from 2 different handguns. Once police arrived, an officer performed CPR and rushed Jaslin to Stroger Hospital in his squad car, but doctors could not save her life.
I appreciate everything the police did. I told the police officer I talked to yesterday who told me he pulled out, and I thanked him, and I think what he did was very amazing.
Jaslin Adams lived with her mother, but did spend time with her dad. We're told they would often come to this McDonald's together. Tonight, the manager here donated 150 free Happy Meals.
Watch this. Look at that.
As balloons were released, a plea to the community.
It's vital that we get.
Where do they think all of those balloons are going to go? They're not going to heaven. Come on, seriously, people. We got to start using a little bit of better judgment. And y'all bear with me because I still got 2 more stories I'm going to talk about. I'm still going to talk about the Chauvin case, and I'm also going to talk about that GoFundMe woman. So we still got 2 more stories to talk about. Y'all bear with me. We're going to get through this one.
As balloons were released, a plea to the community.
It's vital.
I guess they believe them balloons are going to go into space or something. I don't know, man.
That we get this killer off the streets.
We declare that there will be no harbor in this community for the perpetrators of this dastardly crime.
Faith leaders offering a $15,000 reward. This little girl's family wanting an end to the gun violence that has taken the lives of too many children.
But I know that Jaslin will not die in vain.
That's right.
This right here is the beginning of the change that we need.
That's right.
LaWanda McCullen, who is Jaslin's grandmother you saw in our story, tells us that her son is recovering at Stroger and is in stable condition. Police tonight have not yet released any description of these offenders or the vehicle they were riding in. Now, for tips and information on that $15,000 reward, including the number to call, you can head to our website and search this story at WGNTV.com. Reporting live at police headquarters, Dana Rebick, WGN News.
Okay, now I have to warn you guys, and I'm sorry I didn't warn you before the video started playing. So if you need to exit the video, then what we're getting ready to show you is right after it happened, the aftermath. So if you're not ready to see that, then you can exit the video now for those who might not be able to handle it. For everybody else, that's what we're actually getting ready to show right now, okay? So out of respect, don't flag the video. Just exit if you can't handle looking at some of this. So I'm going to try to show you guys the 3 videos, and they're really short, but I'll try to show you these real quick, okay? Let me make this bigger on the screen so y'all can see it for those who want to stay. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. About there. All right, here we go.
Hey, I can damn it down.
Oh, shit, they killed the baby. Look. Oh, shit. Fucking baby, shorty. Oh, shit, this fucked up on B. They just killed the baby, shorty.
And I want y'all to look at this woman. Where, oh my, All this, just never mind. Let me not make a comment. Let me not try to be funny. But why does that woman like, after knowing what's going on, why does this woman have her little baby looking at this and being all close to this? Why is that little girl looking at this? This woman is so worried about being nosy, trying to find out what's going on, that she's neglecting her own daughter. Look at this. Bringing her daughter all up on this. Look at that. Look at that little girl. Look like she's about 4 years old, 3 years old. And where's her hairline? Like, ouch. That looks painful. I'm sorry. It's real inappropriate. Okay, let's play the video.
Just killed the baby, shorty.
Man, we literally was right here. Yeah, we in the drive-thru. When I come off, like,
Oh man, but that was really harrowing to watch them take that baby out of that car, man. Look at this.
the baby. Look. Oh, shit. Fucking baby, shorty. The baby. Look. Oh, shit. Fucking baby, shorty.
Oh, wait. It's too much, man. It's too much. I'm going to finish this by showing y'all this portion of the video. And this is where the dad, I guess he hadn't been around his daughter really at all, but he was trying to show her how to drive. So this is more of an innocent video.
Okay, no, you don't put your feet on nothing. I got my feet on.
Really? I got shoes with no feet on
turn. All the way to the second.
Keep on turning. I think my grandma calling you.
I'm turning back that way. Keep straight. I'm turning out right there, and I'm gonna start driving when you get right there, okay?
Okay.
Right there.
I guess he was trying to show her how to drive, had the baby sitting on his lap. So that's the last video he has of her, from my understanding.
That way. Now to play GTA. Oh, big girl, big girl. There you go, Slime. See?
I wanted to drive right
No,
there.
here.
Let me go ahead and close this particular story out. There's so much that I want to say about all of this stuff. Okay? First things first is, especially with the mom, and I know that 7 years is a long time, and maybe her mindset is different than it is now, and maybe she was just wanting this little girl to be able to spend a little time with her dad. But knowing that this man was already leading a dangerous lifestyle, the gang life, drug filled, just a person that's not living a reputable life, a law-abiding life at all, sometimes you just have to say no. This would have been one of those situations where I'm sure the mom, if she could take it back and do this all over again, she would have just continued to just raise her baby on her own without the dad's help, because she made a bad choice by dealing with a thug and a criminal and having a kid by him. Okay? So I'm sure that she feels remorse about that. Pertaining to the dad, well, currently they're saying that he's in critical condition. I'm not sure what his actual status is as of right this moment, but I do think it's a little bit odd. And y'all looked at the spray of bullets, and the majority of it was in the rear of the car. Anybody who would be gunning for the driver, think it was the dad who was driving the car, would have shot the front of the car and not the back. I want y'all to think about that. They would have shot at the front of the car and not the back. To me, this looks like they were aiming for both of them. They were intentionally trying to hit anybody who was in the rear and anybody who was in the front, which was the dad. But it's so funny how the dad got hit once with 39 bullets. And thank you for correcting me, Alyssa Deeds. 39 bullets shot at this car. Six hit the girl, 1 hit the dad. It does make it plausible, and quite possibly it could be true, especially according to this YouTuber. Y'all go look it up. He might take the video down. I don't know. But this man said that the father used his daughter as a human shield when shot 6 times at a Chicago McDonald's drive-thru. In the dad's Facebook post, he referred to his daughter as his protector. That's not my words at all. So adding those two things to the equation does make it seem like if he didn't see his daughter that much, I want y'all to think about that. He did not see his daughter much, which means he probably don't have a big emotional connection to his daughter. His life was put on the line at a split instant. And he was just thinking about himself and not about his daughter, because when you're around your children, you raise your children, you love your children, somebody like me, anything goes down, I'm immediately going to protect my daughter and do what it takes to protect my baby. Not to run and hide and preserve my life, because I would give my last breath to make sure that my daughter has everything that she needs, especially when it comes to protection. And it just doesn't seem that the dad in this instance protected his daughter. He could have very well pulled a Nino Brown. Thank you. If y'all watched that from New Jack City, when Nino Brown grabbed that little girl in the white dress and held her up as a human shield, we don't know that to be a fact. But what I am saying is that it does make us question if that actually happened, for those two reasons. There is video footage. From that, they ought to be able to find a person, a suspect, a vehicle, or something. There's somebody that knows something. If the dad survives this, then I'm sure he knows who was after him. And he needs to step up in the memory of his daughter and end this bullcrap and this crappy lifestyle and put the people out there who took his daughter's life. Because guess what? If he survives, then he's lucky, because he would have been dead if it would have been left up to them criminals. So why not put them out there? Why not get them off the street? Because the longer that they're out there, they're still going to present a danger to you and to your family and to others. So it seems like that would only make sense. Lastly, there was one thing I forgot to talk about, and that is this individual. I'm not sure if you guys know who this is, or if you don't. This is Nicki Minaj's ex-boyfriend, which is how most people know him. Because I'm sure most people don't know him or remember him for his rap career. Maybe his ghostwriting career, but definitely not his rap career. I know he came out with a song that was all right. It charted, but I didn't like it. But that's just my personal opinion. But shout out to Safari. I hope he don't take this personally. I'd hate for this man to come looking for me and give me the whispering of a lifetime. As the country waits to learn the fate of the ex-Minneapolis cop Derek Chauvin in the killing of George Floyd, Safari used his time to call attention to a different conversation about violence surrounding the recent shooting of a 7-year-old Chicago girl, which is exactly what we do here. Jaslyn Adams was gunned down Sunday afternoon while riding in the car with her father at a Chicago McDonald's drive-thru. Her father survived the shooting and remains hospitalized in serious condition. A McDonald's employee says that 2 men jumped out of another car, so that means they should be able to get a description on the car, and approached Jaslyn and her father before the men fired multiple gunshots inside of their car. Jaslyn was shot multiple times and her father was shot in the torso. The heartbreaking story left many questioning who could purposely fire on a child. So Safari took the opportunity, and I'm glad that he did this. So shout out to this brother. And I got to tell y'all, when people do stuff like this, I feel like it should get some credit. And I definitely appreciate him doing this. He took his opportunity in his platform to call out gun violence in the black community, or like I like to say, thugs with gun violence in the black community, and ask about accountability while comparing this shooting to recent police shootings that have garnered national attention. So here's what he said. Let me see if I can get his quote on the screen. Give me a second. Right here. Let's talk about Mr. Safari. A 7-year-old girl shot and killed, and it wasn't by a police officer. So what's the next step? Who do we hold accountable? Or do we pick and choose when we stand together? Disgusting. And this actually got 351,855 thumbs up. That is great. That is really good. Now, while Safari's anger is certainly understandable, he just became a first-time father to a little girl not that long ago, so maybe he's starting to kind of think like how I did when I became a dad. Your mindset starts to change a little bit. Several people called Safari out for trying to draw a comparison between those two tragic situations. I think it's very dangerous. Please don't give oppressors more leverage. Yes, killing our own is a problem, but it doesn't negate police brutality, one person commented. This difference is, sir, that Dusty Negro will face the maximum penalty of the law, and police officers will never face that same penalty when they also act like thugs. This is a tragic story, but put your emotions aside before putting reckless and inaccurate messages out there, commented Savoy from the popular page, The Savoy Show. I don't even know what the hell that is. And I damn sure I'm not going to look at it after this. Now, detectives are still investigating Jaslyn's shooting. Nobody been taken into custody yet, but they said if you want updates, just follow the news. It shouldn't be that hard to find. But let me say this. Safari is actually 100% right. There is a huge difference, and it is worse when we're doing it to ourselves. Because how can I treat my yard like crap, but get mad when other people treat my yard like crap? Or I treat my home and just bust walls all into my home, piss on the floor, leave dirty dishes out everywhere. But when somebody leaves their trash on the floor of my house, I want to get mad about it. And I think that as the black community, we should set a standard for how we want others to treat us. Safari is 100% right. That is a huge contradiction to say we want you to treat us way better than we treat ourselves. So we want to show each other, me and this brother, we should be out shooting and killing each other, right? But anybody else do it, oh no, we need to be rioting and protesting about that. That makes no sense. And I think anybody with any level of common sense realizes it's a very dumb thing to say. So at the close of this, I want to say that this baby was really just a victim of the mom trying to get this fool an opportunity to grow up and become a man. And it's really sad because I think a father raising a daughter can be a beautiful thing, but you have to be a person not only to put your daughter in a pivotal position to be able to win in life, which means that you have to set the example for how you live your life. And I will tell y'all this. When you're wearing shirts like this that say, where your strap at? Well, thugs got an answer for that. Your ops had an answer for that. They said, okay, well, where's your strap? We gonna test your theory. And it put your daughter's life in jeopardy. And you can't just sit there and make it seem like, you know, I'm an innocent victim. No, you're not. You're a perpetuator of the same bullshit. And there's no telling how many times that he's probably done this to other people and their families. To this little girl, I'm going to put some respect on her name. And I don't even want the father's picture on my screen. But let me say this. To baby Jaslyn, young princess, R.I.P. You deserved an opportunity to grow up and become something great. Beautiful little princess. Rest in peace. I'm DJ Just J. We're the AFC, and we're going to continue to keep being advocates for children. When you date thugs, you date death. I don't know when my message is going to start to resonate with people. I don't know. When do y'all think my message is going? When do y'all think people are going to start to listen to me? I don't know. Maybe never. Maybe my message ain't that freaking important. How many of y'all want to hear about this racist police officer, Derek Chauvin, who helped murder George Floyd? Let me say that, because this thing sure is not over. I do have some opinions about this, some very strong opinions. But how many of you guys have already heard the update? Maybe some of y'all have heard. If you haven't, then maybe this will be your first time. So we're going to talk about this police officer who was one of four. I repeat, one of four. Why are people out celebrating when there's still 3 more people that potentially need to face charges and face sentencing? 1 out of 4. Can y'all say that for me in the chat? This is only 1 out of 4. Why are y'all celebrating? This ain't celebration time. Last time I checked, I don't think it was such a smart thing to go overly crazy about winning a battle when you're trying to win a war. Huh? Y'all hear me? Why get overly satisfied about a battle when you're trying to fight a war? I'm hoping I'm not overstating that. Oh man, let me mute this website real quick because it's got a bunch of ads. Look like they're popping up. Hold on. Yeah, thank you, Miss June Bennett. Have y'all clicked that thumbs up for me yet? Let's see where we're at. We're at 380. Okay, guys, we're a little bit far behind. Sherry Berry posted in the chat. She said, this is only 1 out of 4 and the fight is not over. Thank you so much. We're at 380. Can we get 20 more people to click that thumbs up before I start this story, please? If y'all love George Floyd so much, if y'all love Dante Wright so much, and Ahmaud Arbery and Alton Sterling, Walter Scott, Rashad Brooks, Breonna Taylor, Stephon Clark, can y'all please click the thumbs up in their memory, please? Can y'all do that? If y'all can, show me that their lives matter. If y'all believe that their lives matter, click the thumbs up because I'm actually on their side. Believe it or not. Wrongdoing or not, criminal or not, in some of those situations, I'm actually on the victim's side. You said his trial will be overturned? Any trial could be overturned. To be honest with you, right now, we're waiting on Julius Jones to get out because he was actually given an unfair trial. That type of thing can always be challenged until it can't be challenged anymore. So we just have to let the system do what the system does best. And that's really all we can do. We're at 411. Now remember, please, our goal is 600 thumbs up. So we are 188. We're 188 thumbs up short of what our goal is. So if we can get there, that'd be awesome. All right, let's go ahead and talk about this. Ladies and gentlemen, this particular story is an update, and I think most people have already heard about it, but I did want to at least make sure that I posted kind of my thoughts and share with our people that maybe haven't already seen this. But one of the individuals, 1 out of 4 of the individuals who played a role in the death of George Floyd, the man out of Houston, Texas, went to trial. He is actually going to be sentenced here pretty soon, okay? But they did at least go to trial, and they were able to convict him on the 3 charges. So he's guilty on all charges. So you guys can post that in the chat. As you can see from this picture, people around the country, people around the state, around the world were ecstatic about this. Like, they make it seem like this is just the biggest victory ever. And it's not. We don't even, like, they're celebrating, but we don't have how many years he's going to be in prison yet. And there's still more people that need to be tried for the roles that they played in this. So don't get too happy about winning a battle when you're trying to secure a win in the war. Now, let's talk about this. Derek Chauvin, who you see on the right-hand side of my screen, faces a maximum of 40 years in prison following his conviction today for killing George Floyd during a botched arrest in Minneapolis. I don't know why I said Houston, but maybe it's just because I know that he's associated with the people in Houston, and I saw him in some music videos in Houston. But let's move on. So Derek Chauvin could get up to 4 decades behind bars for the top count of second-degree murder. The second count of third-degree murder carries a penalty of up to 25 years, but he will only be sentenced on the top count as per state law, Samuel McLeod said, who has practiced criminal law in Minnesota for 44 years. The third count he was convicted of second-degree manslaughter, carries a minimum of 10 years. But he also will not face sentencing on that count as per state law. While second-degree murder carries a statutory maximum of 40 years in the state, Chauvin will likely face far less time when he is sentenced as per state sentencing guidelines. The guidelines call for about 12 years in prison for Chauvin, but prosecutors have asked for an upward departure from that, which could add a number of years to the sentence, former prosecutor Susan Gartner said. I want y'all to bookmark that. Why? Everybody's trying to count this as a win. A jury convicted Chauvin today on all counts after deliberating for a little more than 10 hours. Chauvin killed George Floyd in May of 2020 by kneeling on his neck for more than 9, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8. 9 minutes on a human's neck during an arrest in a Minneapolis street. The former cop's attorney had argued he properly restrained Floyd, who was resisting and under the influence of drugs during the incident. Chauvin was remanded into custody after the verdict was handed down, and he will face sentencing in approximately 8 weeks. So just about 2 months. Experts said he'll likely be held in protective custody or potentially even serve time out of state. At sentencing, he will likely be committed to the custody of the Minnesota Commissioner of Corrections and could end up serving his time at a number of state facilities, a former Twin City prosecutor said Tuesday. The former cop will likely pass through Minnesota State Prison in St. Cloud, said Samuel Edmonds, who currently works as a defense attorney in Minneapolis. Let me ask you guys a question. Who are listening to my voice right now, please click the thumbs up, share this stream, let more people know that we're live talking about this story. I want to know from you guys who are listening, how many of you guys believe that this is a victory? This is a W. How many of you guys believe that this is a victory and you are happy with what he's been charged with and what he's been convicted with? He might not get the full 40 years. I think he should definitely get the full 40 years. As a matter of fact, however old George Floyd was, I think that's how many years that this dude should get minimum in prison. But that's just my personal opinion. I know my opinion is not the law. But the way that they handled this was just wrong in so many ways. I'm not going to talk about what George Floyd did right or wrong or whatever the case is. When it comes to authority, authority is trained to be able to handle these difficult situations And if they don't have enough training after all these damn years, then maybe we need to have some more training, some more guidelines, something, because out of all the data that we have, I would think at this point, and y'all know I normally don't even talk about this type of thing, I think that we have to have I don't even know how you describe it. Better training, better common sense. Maybe you get desensitized after you just see bad person after bad person after bad person your entire career, and maybe you just flat out don't give a crap anymore. But I think that every single life matters, and I believe that if you take a life or put a life in jeopardy, you better damn well make sure that you had no other choice. I don't think that's what happened here. Not with that many officers involved, not with this man already being handcuffed. Where the hell was he gonna go? He did not need to be restrained in that fashion, that harshly, and I'm pretty sure the world would totally agree that the way that this was handled was absolute crap on all of the officers' parts that were involved in this situation. Regardless of what you feel about his record, how he behaved, or anything. Criminals, like I like to say, stupid is as stupid thugs. You should be trained to know how to deal with thugs when that's what you get paid to do. Does that make sense? You are literally training to deal with thugs and criminals. That is the essence of your job, is to enforce the law. Even though people want to say that it's their job to serve and protect. Their job is to enforce the laws that are on the books. Enforcing the law should not equate to this many murders. And I think that bringing this type of thing to their attention should actually be like a big old red flag and be like, yo, maybe we need to think about this a little more critically, especially when you have 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 police officers on top of one man. He's already been apprehended. I just don't understand. If you look at this picture, any level of common sense would tell your ass you gotta be a damn fool to sit there on somebody's jugular veins like that. Like, come on. That's not right. It's not common sense. It's not common sense. If it is policy, anybody who wrote that policy needs their ass whooped. That should never be on the books, to sit there and constrain somebody with your knee on their freaking veins where they breathe. You might as well should have told the dude that it's in the policy to put your knee on top of his mouth and his nose. That's equivalent to the same thing. Common sense should tell you, even if it is in policy, it might not be necessary this time. I'm sorry, but it's just like, once a life is taken, you can't go in reverse. You can't fix this. This man ain't never coming back. This man will never get a chance at redemption. But Chauvin will. Think about that. However many years he gets in prison, as long as he don't pass away from natural causes or whatever the case is, when he gets out of prison, once he does his time, he will get a second chance. George Floyd won't. Does anybody disagree with what the hell I just said? I think I stand pretty clear on that, because you guys know that I take a strong stance against thugs and thug behavior. This shirt says hashtag when you date thugs, you date death. I don't like thugs. I am against all thugs and non-law abiding activity, especially when it puts our children at risk. There still has to be a level of decorum, because that's the job that this butthead signed up for. That's the contract that you signed to enforce the law. They also said that most of the inmates start there and then most will get transferred to a different facility around the state, according to Edmund, who told the Post. There are several prisons across Minnesota that house inmates after they've been sentenced. He added that a local judge will not, I repeat, will not have authority over where an inmate is placed once they are turned over to correction officials. So that's something to look out for. But again, I want you guys to remember, this is not a real victory. You still have to wait for the sentencing, see if it's fair and if it's just, which I'm sure they're not going to give him the maximum amount of time, which I think he needs probably more time than that. But this is only one person out of 4. There's more work to be done. So don't get your happy asses all up and be cheering and joyful and celebrating and going out for drinks and posting on Facebook. I see too many people already too happy. You get too damn happy about nothing. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. And just to be clear, I'm not against police at all. I'm against people who break the law, including police and thugs and anybody. I'm against all people who break the law, all right? So I ain't one of them people, but let's get it.
Members of the jury, I understand you have a verdict.
And let me say this, for the people who are saying what George Floyd did as a criminal does matter, it should matter in court, not dead in the street. Is that not what our laws are meant to do? Judged by 12, not carried by 6. We don't hold court in the streets. We hold court in front of a judge. The judge will decide our ultimate fate and decide what we did and how bad it was. Hopefully that makes sense. So if it does matter, it should have mattered in court, not dead in the street from laying on somebody's damn neck. Come on.
Members of the jury, I will now read the verdicts as they will appear in the permanent records of the 4th Judicial District. State of Minnesota, County of Hennepin, District Court, 4th Judicial District. State of Minnesota Plaintiff versus Derek Michael Chauvin Defendant. Verdict, count 1.
We got to stop making this a black and white thing, y'all. I'm trying to tell you. Stop making it a black and white thing. We are Americans, and Americans need to demand their rights, because I want to remind you guys that even though this was a black man who might have done something wrong, the majority of us have family members, if not ourselves, who have done things wrong. What if it was you that stole something small or did something small or did anything that caused the police to apprehend you, and they decide to restrain you because you might have jerked or acted up or got irate or whatever the case is, and they decide to lay down on your family member's neck, on your neck, or anybody else's? What if it was you? Black, white, Asian, Chinese, black, white, Middle Eastern, Indian. Think about that for a moment. It could be you. It happens just the same with black people as it do with white people, even though they don't refer to it in the news that much. Think about that for a moment. What if it was one of your loved ones? We all should be mad when people we pay to enforce the law hold court in the streets. Hope I'm clear about that.
Court file number 27 CR 20-12646. We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to count 1, unintentional second-degree murder while committing a felony, find the defendant guilty. This verdict agreed to this 20th day of April 2021 at 1:44 p.m. Signed, juror foreperson, juror number 19.
I guess some people in the chat acting like they don't have people who use drugs in their family, people who are alcoholics in their family, people who have mental issues in their family. Is that what y'all trying to tell me? Y'all don't have no family members that have issues, that might be criminals, might have done some fraud, might have stolen something? Just the majority of people in the chat, I guess, don't know anybody who shares their skin color, shares their culture, who have done something illegal. Okay, all right.
Same caption, verdict count 2. We, the jury in the above entitled matter as to count 2, third-degree murder, perpetrating an eminently dangerous act, find the defendant guilty. This verdict agreed to this 20th day of April 2021 at 1:45 p.m. Signed by jury foreperson, juror number 19. Same caption, verdict count 3. We, the jury in the above entitled matter as to count 3, second-degree manslaughter, culpable negligence, creating an unreasonable risk, find the defendant guilty. This verdict agreed to this 20th day of April 2021 at 1:45 p.m. Jury foreperson 019. Members of the jury, I'm now going to ask you individually if these are your true and correct verdicts. Please respond yes or no. Juror number 2, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 9, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 19, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 27, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 44, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 52, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 55, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 79, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 85, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 89, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 91, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror
Now, y'all got to remember, we're being divided in this country. We got more stuff in common than we do different. We have to stop looking at this so differently, y'all, okay? We got so much more in common than we do different.
number 92, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Are these your verdicts? So say you one, so say you all.
Yes.
Members of the jury, I find that the verdicts as read reflect the will of the jury and will be filed accordingly. I have to thank you on behalf of the people of the state of Minnesota for not only jury service, but heavy-duty jury service. What I'm going to ask you to do now is to follow the deputy back into your usual room, and I will join you in a few minutes to answer questions and to advise you further. So, all rise for the jury.
All right. I think they cut and they're coming back.
All right, be seated.
All right, yep, here we go.
With the guilty verdicts returned, we're going to have Blakely, you may file a written argument as to Blakely factors within 1 week. The court will issue findings on the Blakely factors, the factual findings, 1 week after that. We'll order PSI immediately returnable in 4 weeks. And we will also have a briefing on, after you get the PSI, 6 weeks from now, and then 8 weeks from now, we will have sentencing. We'll get you the exact dates in a scheduling order. Is there a motion on behalf of the state?
Your Honor, the state would move to have the court revoke the defendant's bail and remand him into custody pending sentencing.
Bail is revoked, bond is discharged, and the defendant is remanded to the custody of the Hennepin County Sheriff. Anything further? All right. Thank you. We're adjourned.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and...
All right, y'all, please click that thumbs up. Let's keep going. Let me back this up.
I think the prosecution is doing a really solid job and using the video in a way that engages the jury.
We saw you standing there with your hands on your head for a while, correct?
Correct.
What was going through your mind during that time period?
Disbelief and guilt.
Why guilt?
If I would have just not taken the bill, this could have been avoided.
The prosecutors are leading the witnesses through the video and allowing them to testify as to what happened, what they saw. And I think that has a great and strong impact on the jury because they can sort of place themselves there.
I feel helpless. I don't have a mama either, but I understand him.
It's just uncalled for.
I just want to point out how unusual it is for police officers to be testifying against each other. Usually the officers band together and there's kind of, blue wall of silence. That has really been a different situation here.
That in no way, shape, or form is anything that is by policy, is not part of our training, and it is certainly not part of our ethics or our values.
After reviewing all of the facts and evidence of the case, I can state with a high degree of medical certainty that George Floyd did not die from a primary cardiac event, and he did not die from a drug overdose.
Yes, a healthy person subjected to what Mr. Floyd was subjected to would have died as a result of what he was subjected to.
And in terms of manner of death, you found then, and do you stand by today, that the manner of death for Mr. Floyd was, as you would call it, homicide?
Yes, I would still classify it as a homicide today.
George, he would always be up on our mom. He was a big mama's boy.
Let's go ahead and move on to the next video.
Members of the jury, I understand you have a verdict. Members of the jury, I will now read the verdicts as they will appear in the permanent records of the 4th Judicial District. State of Minnesota, County of Hennepin, District Court, 4th Judicial District. State of Minnesota Plaintiff versus Derek Michael Chauvin, Defendant. Verdict, Count 1. Court File Number 27, CR 20-12646. We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to Count 1, unintentional second-degree murder while committing a felony, find the defendant guilty. This verdict agreed to this 20th day of April 2021 at 1:44 p.m. Signed, juror foreperson, juror number 19. Same caption, verdict count 2. We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to count 2, third-degree murder, perpetrating an eminently dangerous act, find the defendant guilty. This verdict agreed to this 20th day of April 2021 at 1:45 p.m. Signed by jury foreperson, juror number 19. Same caption, verdict count 3. We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to count 3, second-degree manslaughter, culpable negligence, creating an unreasonable risk, find the defendant guilty. This verdict agreed to this 20th day of April 2021 at 1:45 p.m. Jury foreperson 019. Members of the jury, I'm now going to ask you individually if these are your true and correct verdicts. Please respond yes or no. Juror number 2, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 9, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 19, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 27, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 44, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 52, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 55, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 79, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 85, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 89, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 91, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 92, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Are these your verdicts, so say you one, so say you all?
Yes.
Members of the jury, I find that the verdicts as read reflect the will of the jury and will be filed accordingly. I have to thank you on behalf of the people of the state of Minnesota for not only jury service, but heavy-duty jury service. What I'm going to ask you to do now is to follow the deputy back into your usual room, and I will join you in a few minutes to answer questions and to advise you further. So, all rise for the jury.
All right, so you guys are actually getting ready to hear a little more news commentary. So that's why I'm going to let the rest of this play, okay? And then I'll give y'all my thoughts about this, and then we'll move on to our last story.
All right, be seated. With the guilty verdicts returned, we're going to have Blakely, you may file a written argument as to Blakely factors within 1 week. The court will issue findings on the Blakely factors, the factual findings, 1 week after that. We'll order a PSI immediately returnable in 4 weeks. And we will also have a briefing on, after you get the PSI, 6 weeks from now, and then 8 weeks from now we will have sentencing. We'll get you the exact dates in a scheduling order. Is there a motion on behalf of the state?
Your Honor, the state would move to have the court revoke the defendant's bail and remand him into custody pending sentencing.
Bail is revoked, bond is discharged, and the defendant is remanded to the custody of the Hennepin County Sheriff. Anything further? All right. Thank you. We're adjourned.
So there you have it, less than 10 minutes, guilty on all 3 counts. Guilty second-degree murder, guilty third-degree murder, guilty second-degree manslaughter. You saw the former police officer there, Derek Chauvin, handcuffed. He's going back into jail. He was out of jail on bail, awaiting these verdicts. Guilty on all 3 counts. Let's get immediate reaction from Don Lemon. Don, you're watching this as closely as anyone.
Justice has been served, and you can see the reaction from the crowd, how America feels. And I'm sure people who are watching all over this country, watching all over the world, are on their devices getting messages from people, as I am, saying, thank you, Jesus. Thank God. Finally, justice on all counts. The attorney for the Crump family has reached out and given me a statement, Wolf, and he says, guilty. Painfully earned justice has finally arrived for George Floyd's family. This verdict is a turning point in history and sends a clear...
Y'all do me a favor, make sure when y'all are directing comments at each other, if y'all would in the chat, I'm not going to block or time out anybody. I want y'all to handle it like adults, okay? But just make sure we're not attacking each other, okay? But just, you can debate on points of fact. Just don't attack each other personally, talking crazy to each other, okay? I want y'all to remember, we all have something in common, all right? I want us to also display that in the chat as well, please, okay? All right.
Clear message on the need for accountability of law enforcement. Justice for Black America is justice for all America. We thank Minnesota AG Keith Ellison and his team, along with our legal team, for fierce dedication to justice for George. But it does not end here. We still have work to do. We have to make the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act become law so we can hold law enforcement accountable and prevent so many of these unjustified killings of marginalized people of color. This reminds me in so many ways, and it's not specific, but it reminds me of the tension and the passion and the angst that was felt during the reading of O.J. Simpson. People on the street hugging each other, other people were just beside themselves. But remanded into custody, the verdict spoke for itself, and if that didn't speak for itself, Wolf, a police officer who had been on the job for years, a training officer, handcuffed and led away, And the next place for him, the next home for him, will be prison.
If y'all would, do me a favor. We only got a couple minutes of this left. If y'all would, please click that thumbs up. We need to reach 500 thumbs up. So we are about 46 short. Or less. Maybe I can't read. 36. We're 36 short. I can't count. I said I can't read and I can't count. So 36 more people, please click that thumbs up. And we should be able to reach 500. If my math is correct. And it might not be, but okay.
You know, Don, this is a powerful moment in American history that we're watching unfold right now. Anderson, guilty on all 3 counts, second-degree murder, potential.
They still need to get his sentencing, but you still got 3 other people, 3 out of 4 left to go. This ain't a real victory at all. Not yet.
Up to 40 years. We don't know if he'll get that. Third-degree murder, guilty, 25 years, maximum sentence. Second-degree manslaughter, guilty, maximum sentence, 10 years. Don't know if he's going to get all that, but he's going to jail right now for potentially a very long time.
Yeah, and just for our viewers who are watching, on the left-hand side of your screen in the lower corner, what you're seeing is that is the location where George Floyd was murdered. That is where Derek Chauvin killed, murdered George Floyd. On the right-hand side of your screen is outside the courthouse where we were seeing George Floyd's girlfriend. Van Jones, your response to your reaction to this verdict?
Well, you know, one down, many, many more to go. But I think about that young girl who brought out her cell phone and who stood there in horror, not knowing what to do, but just holding that phone steady.
I don't think it's really necessarily designed to hurt blacks, so to say. So let me say this. I'll address Cynthia and maybe anybody else who might also think that. Not in this day and age. I don't think it really has so much to do with race anymore. I think there is a divide between government, authority, police, and everybody else. Y'all catch that? There's a divide between the government and the police, the courts and the government, and us. That's where the divide is. To them, we're literally just social security numbers. I want y'all to remember that. I want y'all to remember that I said that. The system is broken for citizens. For citizens, it's broken. The police work in conjunction with the authority, the government, and the courts. So yes, they're probably going to be more lenient to their own. Everybody understand that? Y'all keep making it about black and white and race, and I'm telling y'all, it's not race. It's not race. It's not race at all.
She did the right thing. All those community members who came and begged and pleaded and talked, they did the right thing. That EMT person did the right thing. When people called the police on the police, they did the right thing. I actually like that a little bit better.
So Angry Man's, that last portion of what you said, I like that. The system favors the system. So there you go. That's probably the simplest way to explain it. So keep that in mind, Angry Man, because I want you to continue to use that, because that's actually very correct. The system favors the system.
When the police chief fired this man, he did the right thing. When people marched by the millions, they did the right thing. And part of what I think the
way bigger than color
message has to be is that we have to get more involved. It started with that young girl. She got involved. And then you had a community stand up, and you had a governor step in and take the case and give it to Keith Ellison to make sure that it was done the right way. This is the beginning of something. This is not the end of anything. This is the beginning of something. Where is Congress? They need to act. Those chokeholds are still legal according to federal government. That needs to change.
Okay, let me address this because I've never seen you in my chat before and you just pop up today. So for the person who said, and do not delete any comments to any of my moderators. Don't block or time out anybody. Okay? I want to make that very clear. Let me address this. He said Floyd died of a drug overdose and he couldn't breathe before he asked to be put on the ground. Facts. That is not a fact. Here's what you need to do for the person who said vote for Trump. That's just your name. I wish you would put like something that's unique to you. Vote for Trump is not a creative name. Like, make a name for yourself, okay? Instead of using another man's name. I think that's really weird. Here are the facts. They actually brought out in court medical professionals that say that that man did not die from drugs or a heart attack. The incident is what caused his death. They brought out professionals. They brought out health experts, people who did testing, who brought facts to the table. That's a fact. That's a fact. So you have to be careful about what you're putting in my chat, because you're putting incorrect information out there. And I'm not talking about what you think from a video that you saw. So I will tell you this. Stop constantly posting the same thing in my chat. You've already said it. You've put out false information. If you continue to put false information in my chat, then I'll get you up out of here. I don't mind you having an opinion, but that's your opinion. It's not a fact. But if you represent it as a fact, then I'll get you out of my chat. We believe in putting out facts. That is why I have not had to retract one video, because what I put out is a fact, unless I'm giving you my opinion, in which I specify it's my opinion. Catch that? You specifically said he died from drugs. That is false. The knee and pressure on the head and neck is what caused his death, by way of medical evidence. You've made your point. You can stop posting it in my chat. The facts are in. That is why we have the courts. The courts are supposed to absorb factual information. What you're putting out there is your opinion. Post it again, and I'm getting you out of here. Period. I don't mind losing one person in my chat. Believe me, I'm not going to miss you.
There's no duty to intervene from the federal government. That needs to change. There's no registry for cops like Chauvin. That needs to change. You know, when you have somebody like, Representative Karen Bass and Tim Scott fighting, we need to get behind them. This should never happen again. One down, many more to go. Sometimes when we fight, we lose, but sometimes when we fight, we won. The people won.
When you saw Derek Chauvin putting his hands behind his back, being handcuffed and let out of the court, what did you think?
Justice. Justice. I've seen so many kids who've done so much less than him walk out of courtrooms in handcuffs with much less evidence. I've seen kids do 20 years, 30 years on snitch evidence. Just one kid testify against another kid and go away to prison. You don't have TV cameras and body cameras and cell phones. So many young people from that community sitting in prison, and cops getting away with murder over and over again. That's what justice looks like. When people all we want is the police to obey the law. We're not asking for anything but that, for the police to obey the law. And when they break the law, they should have handcuffs just like anybody else. We don't want them to be.
I agree with that part of what he just said. April, unless you have that as factual information, sweetheart, do me a favor. Don't say he's a gang member. Please don't do that in my chat. Unless we have some type of record that he was a gang member, that he was a part of a gang. And I can tell you guys this. Anytime a human being, a citizen of the United States of America, applies to be a police officer, they have to have a spot clean record. They cannot have been involved in any illicit deeds. Shout out to illicit deeds. I told you guys, I've got a little bit of a history my damn self. There was a point in time where I thought I wanted to try to apply and be a police officer since I've been in Texas. And the reason for that is because I said, you know what? I want to be part of the solution as opposed to being part of the problem. I didn't make it because my record wasn't clean. I'll just be honest with you. They want you to have a spot clean record. So unless you have information that says that that man was in a gang, please do not say that in the chat. You know I love you, sweetheart. Okay? You know I got love for you. But let's be very careful about us putting inaccurate information out there. Just like I was telling the troll person a minute ago, who showed up in the chat to put out some bull crap and then jet it. Because that's what they do. But let's definitely make sure that we don't do that as the AFC, okay? What they're saying that he is now is he is now a convicted murderer. That is what he is on record. Okay? All right.
All we want is the police to obey the law. We're not asking for anything but that. For the police to obey the law. And when they break the law, they should have handcuffs just like anybody else. We don't.
Sheila Scott, yes, I heard about it. I'll have to address it on the next video because I just did not have time, and I found that out literally as I was posting this story. So I didn't have time to get to it. But yeah, I'll do it the next time around.
I don't want them to be below us or beneath us. They should obey the law. That is what justice looks like.
Let me go ahead and give my closing thoughts about this. Again, I want to remind the people that don't look at this as a black and white thing. Look at this as we are all Americans. There is a clear difference with how we are treating law-abiding citizens and how we treat officers of the law on the side of the government. Those are the two separate sides. And I don't believe that we're treating those sides fairly when it comes to when these people commit crimes. We do not treat them the same. And that's been an ongoing battle for a very long time. And that's the thing that has to happen, is that huge gap has to come closed. There shouldn't even be a gap at this point. If you break the law, everybody should be held accountable in the same way. As a matter of fact, I personally believe that an officer of the law who is sworn to uphold the law, breaks the law, should actually be treated more harshly as opposed to our citizens. Because you've sworn an oath to the government and to the people. This man, along with others, have acted in a way that caused one of our citizens to be dead at this point. Regardless of what people feel like he did, right or wrong, that should have been debated in court. A simple thing to do if you got 4 to 5 people who are apprehending one of the police officers. I support our good law-abiding officers. This was not a law-abiding situation. These officers did not follow the law, which is why the law is proving that they're going to do jail time based on their criminal actions. Okay? If this man did something so bad and you have 4 to 5 people, 6 people, in this case, police officers trying to apprehend one man, and they can't apprehend one man properly, they can't bring in one man without killing this man, without causing this man to die, then something is wrong. If all of those adults can't bring in one person, something is wrong. I probably could have brought that man in by myself. You have that many people that can't bring in one man, then you know what that means to me? We're wasting a whole lot of man hours in police officers, because apparently they too weak and too scared to be able to bring a man in by force without killing him. It just doesn't seem like, and it makes me wonder, and I don't mean to be so disrespectful, but I gotta say this, and it makes me wonder, how many monkeys does it take to screw in a light bulb? And I ask this, how many police officers in Minneapolis does it take to arrest one man? We're not talking about a group of people like our women, shout out to the women, and I mean no disrespect. We're not talking about 5 women trying to apprehend this tall, muscular guy. We're talking about grown men who are used to handling grown men and criminals in a forceful way, and you mean to tell me 4 to 5 of them could not bring a man in without causing him to die like that? At least 4 people. That is a problem. That is a huge problem. If you ask me, that seems like a big old waste. The fact that we could potentially have 4 ex-police officers that are going to go to jail for a very long time, and George Floyd, who is never coming back. At least 5 individuals who are going to be out of our society because of this thing called incompetence. Sometimes common sense can get you to a goal. And if you ask me, nobody reacted with common sense. I can't ask for our citizens to go over there and go push that man off of his neck. I can't ask that, because that could cause them to get shot, potentially. I can't ask the people to do that. But what else are we supposed to do besides film it? I can't ask for our people to attack officers. That's never going to end good. But I can ask of our officers to do better by the people that pay your fucking bills. Now that I can do. If my tax dollars are paying your salary and you sign up to get my tax dollars, then I think that you owe it to the people to do your job properly that don't put us in harm's way. That can't be debated. We can't have this totalitarian government. I think that's how you say the word. I could be wrong, but y'all can check me on that. But we can't have this type of thing where we're under tyranny against people that we pay. That's never right. They should be working with us to help eliminate crime, to help get these situations to a reasonable resolve, get them to court. If it's so bad what they did, then get them to court the best way that you can. I saw this man draw no guns, no weapons. Why can't 4 grown, full-fledged individual men bring that man into jail? Absolutely ridiculous. It's despicable, and it makes the good police officers look really bad. And I say that again. It makes the good ones look bad. It reflects on us all, because guess what? Just the same way that I say, when my people that look just like me do bad things, it makes us all look bad. And I understand that. I understand the stereotypes. Police should also understand the stereotypes, and that's where we have to come together. Please, somebody say that in the chat. We have to come together, work together to be better, not only for us, but for our world, for our children, before this thing blows up in our face, and that's not what any of us want. I like to sleep peacefully at night, and I like to be able to know that I can go see my daughter, we can go hang out, go get something to eat, be cool, and ain't got to worry about a whole lot. And I would hope that a lot more of us want peace. Justice and peace. We get justice in court, and I want peace in the streets. That's all I ask. And I thank you guys so much for listening to me with an open mind and an open heart. So from my heart to yours, thank you guys so much for listening. But this story is definitely far from over. Thank you. Woo, had a lot to say about that. Alrighty, you said you're not a troll, sir. So let's see, we're getting ready to switch topics. All right, we'll see if you're a troll or not. We'll see if you stick around. GoFundMe, because that's going to be our next topic. GoFundMe. Are y'all ready for the GoFundMe police, which is myself, to get it in? Said new subscriber, unbiased, logical content. Keep up the great work. LB sending a $5 super chat, showing some love, and let me say thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Can you address the first corner? No, I'm not going to address the corner. Damn it, I'm already done with the story, dude. Calm down, man. You sound like you need your own YouTube channel, bro. Make one. They free. Make a video. Put it out there. Send me the link, please. I've been subbed to... Oh, you've been subbed to this channel for over a year? Why have I... You must have changed your name or something. What was your name before Vote for Trump? You must have had a different name. Because I don't recognize that name. You might have changed your name. It's possible. But you sound like you need your own YouTube channel. And make a video and then send me the link. Make a video. Send me the link. I'll watch it and listen to it. And you tell me why you feel like it's important. I'd be more than happy to listen and watch it. I love watching YouTube videos. But let me go ahead and get to this last story. Boy, I have a little bit to say you're annoying. Who's annoying? Lori Dozier, are you talking about me or are you talking about somebody else? I'll wait for your answer. Always been that name. Okay, I could dig that. Like I say, you're welcome, man. But just like I say, just kind of calm some of that stuff down, bro. It's all good. It's all good. I just want a little bit of peace. That's all. I'm an advocate for children, but I'm also an advocate for peace. That's why I always do this. Peace and prayers. When I start to show off, when I'm bowing to the camera, I bow to the chat. I bow to the picture of my auntie over here and all my lost family and friends. Showing respect, peace, and prayers. Let's go ahead and talk about this last story, which is... But I was being serious with you, though. To that Vote for Trump person, make a YouTube video. I'll watch it. Email me the link. I would absolutely watch it. All right, we're about to close out, guys. We almost got 600 thumbs up. We are 3 short of 500. And if we can get 103, we will be at our goal, and I'll let you guys go. But I say thank y'all so much. I know I kept y'all here for a long time. Shoot, I'd get sleepy listening to my own voice. So I thank y'all for those who stuck around. I truly appreciate that. See, if y'all are still in this thing, type something in the chat. Uh-oh. Don't time out anybody. What was said? This girl never even got the PPP loan. She scammed her way right into these people's pockets, gave her the attention she was looking for. Why'd you time her out, or was that an accident? Was that an accident, Sherry? Might have been an accident. Sorry about that, Just Shanna. It'll auto correct itself here in about 300 seconds. I don't think that was on purpose. I think that might have been an accident. Might have been an accident. Was that an accident, Sherry Berry? I know it's real easy to touch that screen and accidentally time out people. Okay. So sorry about that, Just Shanna. It'll fix itself here in a little bit. All right. Y'all still got y'all in the building. Okay. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and talk about this. But what you said, this girl never even got the PPP loan? Huh. That's actually believable, to be honest, Just Shanna. I believe you. Let me say thank you again. The third time, always facts. Let's get over 500 thumbs up. Leanne Engel. Y'all see she sent in a $30 super chat. That's the second time she's done that in the super chat, and then she hit us on the PayPal side. Do y'all understand how dope Leanne Engel is, sweetheart? Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Really, truly appreciate that. It's okay. Sherry says she's sorry, Just Shanna. It'll fix itself in a minute. It was an accident. Had to send a message here real quick. My phone is messing up. So let me say thank you real quick. Oh, wow. We had a number of people who donated. Let me say thank you again. Michelle in Cash App, on PayPal, Let me make sure I can say your name. Said, I never catch you live, but I love what you're trying to do for the children. That is Catherine with an E. E is in Edward. Catherine with an E, who sent in a very, very nice PayPal. So if you're listening, thank you very much. I hope you hear this. Let me also say thank you to, let me make sure I can say your name. I enjoy your show. All these poor babies would not have a voice if not for you. And that comes from Martha with a G, who sent in a $20 PayPal. So if you're listening, thank you. It's not a me thing, but it's a we thing. We're doing this together. So I want to say thank you so much for your support. Let me say thank you to my friend Laura with a K, who sent in an amazing donation, just the same as my sister Leanne Engel. Said, from my heart to yours, DJ Just J and the AFC, this is a we thing. Patricia Modique, thank you. Dominique Holmes, thank you. Jimmy D and Lynn with a B and Cash Out, thank you as well. Let's go ahead and tell our last story. Here we go. Uh-oh, let me get that off the screen. I want to talk about this chick right here. Boy, I got a lot to say about this one. Ladies and gentlemen, I know a lot of people, and I guess I've kind of taken on the title of the self-proclaimed GoFundMe police, and I kind of take that with pride because I don't like for people to take something that can be really good for a lot of people to be able to use a crowdfunding website like GoFundMe and put up campaigns to be able to fund different things that people are trying to do. I think they should be for enjoyable things. I guess if you run into hard times, I guess it's okay, depending on what it is, to post for certain things. I definitely do not like the idea of people using GoFundMe to basically shirk getting life insurance. I don't like that because everybody should have life insurance, period. If you don't, then you shouldn't be having kids. Everybody should have life insurance. But about this particular situation, this is something brand new that I have never heard of. I want y'all to hear this. The individual that y'all see on my screen right there allegedly took out a PPP loan, which is that the PPP loan stands for, oh goodness. I had it memorized. I already forgot it. Let me look it up again. Hold on. PPP loan is, what does it stand for? Hold on. I got to look this up. I just remember what it, Paycheck Protection Program. How did I forget that? Thank y'all in the chat. I literally knew this the entire time up until I started this. And I'm going to leave that in there. I'm not going to even cut that out. The Paycheck Protection Program. Okay? So here's the crazy part about that. That situation, that system, this thing was put up to help businesses. People like my friend that runs the club in Oklahoma City, and shout out to him. I'm not going to put his information out there or anything like that, but people like that who run businesses, they're running into hard times, and they want to be able to sustain their business while we're going through this pandemic and this bit of recession, so to say, to be able to keep them afloat and to be able to keep their employees. Okay? Then you have people like this who allegedly are taking advantage of these paycheck protection loans. So check this out. The woman that y'all see on my screen, that chick, is allegedly a popular Instagram model. A popular Instagram model. She don't look popular or look like a model. If she is, then just, anyway, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. A popular Instagram model allegedly set up a GoFundMe page to help pay back a PPP loan, paycheck protection, according to a new GoFundMe page. The page, which confirmed exists, is looking to raise $20,000. And I've seen the link, and I took screenshots to show y'all that it does exist. And it was started by this woman by the name of Lakeisha Golden. The page posted a photo of a pretty IG model, and I guess that's subjective if you call her pretty. I mean, I guess that's what pretty is. I guess anybody and everybody is pretty, right? I guess anybody and everybody could be a freaking model. I guess there are no standards when it comes to models. You could be any size. You could have as many tattoos on the chest as you want. You can have on some other race of people's hair sitting on top of your head all you want to. You don't have to look like yourself at all. But why look like yourself when you can look like somebody else? I don't know. The page posted a photo of a pretty IG model along with the caption, "I got $20,000 in PPP loan. Now the feds are after me. Please help. I can't do jail. I got 3 kids that need me." D-A-T, that need me. Wrote it in a hood way. And I've told you guys, I feel really, really bad about this. For any reason that you put up a GoFundMe, if you're asking for money, it should be written properly. Like you got some damn home training, some damn education. If you don't, then maybe whatever money that you're asking for, take $100 of that and pay somebody to write out something that makes sense in accordance with how much money you ask. And I think that your sentence, whatever it is that you write in that description box as to why you're asking for $20,000 should look like, look, that's what it looks like. That don't even look like it's worth the $20,000 that you're asking for. I think that if you're asking for $20K, that paragraph box should look like $20K worth of a statement. Okay? Said the page has already raised more than $4,000 as of right now. Now, a PPP loan is a small business administration backed loan that helps businesses keep their workforce employed during the COVID-19 crisis. The Paycheck Protection Program is a loan designed to provide a direct incentive for small businesses to keep their workers on payroll. The program is designed for employers with 500 employees or less. This includes sole proprietorships, independent contractors, and the self-employed private nonprofits and 501c19 veteran organizations. Some borrowers may be eligible for PPP loan forgiveness. Unfortunately, applying for a PPP loan was relatively quick and easy, and many unscrupulous people fraudulently applied for money. So they were jerks, okay? Let me see, who was timed out? Not talking about today, but why Ms. Newman are allowed to make racist comments when she blocks natives from the chat. Yeah, I told y'all, stop attacking my moderators. I didn't already told y'all that. You got timed out, Kimmy D. Do not attack my moderators, okay? All right, let's keep going with this story. The Justice Department has brought criminal charges against at least 209 individuals and 119 cases related to Paycheck Protection Program fraud. Banks and other lenders began processing loan applications on behalf of Small Business Administration on April 3rd of 2020, and these cases are just the beginning. So let me ask you guys a question. First and foremost, when we talk about fraud and scams, you look at this woman and you tell me, first of all, what qualifies her to be an Instagram model? Is it just because she takes pictures and posts them on Instagram looking like whatever the hell? Huh? Just look like anything. She ain't gotta have a flat stomach. She ain't gotta have a shape. She could be shaped like a freaking box of cereal. She could have on somebody else's hair that go all the way down the middle of her back that looks like crap, by the way. 3 kids. So no standard at all. Just anybody and everybody could be an Instagram model. She looked like she could be a hostess model, a little Debbie model, let alone an Instagram model. I'm sorry. But you know, I guess beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but I think that when it comes to a standard of beauty, I think there should be maybe even like a dress size standard. How about that? Model should maybe be about a 1 to 4 dress size, maybe. She looked like a good size 15, 16, little bit out of the scope, you know, just saying. But what does an Instagram model do for a living? What do y'all think that woman does for a living? Because I want you guys to understand that she didn't specify what she does for a living. So here's the thing. Let's go back to this statement, because I got a lot to say about this. Let's look at this weak statement. I got $20K PPP loan, and the feds is after me. What did you put down? And I want y'all to notice, she didn't put down why she got the loan, what business or what employees that she had to pay for to utilize that loan. That's first and foremost. I think we should have a description about what you did and why you got $20K. $20,000 is a lot of money to get, and you're just not going to explain that at all. And that's part of the thing that I think can be a real dangerous thing when you ask people questions and they don't give you answers, when they're real vague. Those are yellow and red flags all the time. But let's talk about something else that maybe some people didn't see, like this. In the comment section by Lakeisha Golden, the organizer, she said, "Keep the donations coming, y'all. My kids need me out here, FRFR," which means for real, for real. If that ain't a hood whore, then I don't know what else is. Keep them donations coming. Pause. Pause. Just for a damn moment. You know how much audacity you have to not only acquire a business loan. Nobody knows what your business is. Nobody knows who your employees are. I guarantee you, this bride ain't got no business at all. Not a legal business, not a legit business. And definitely not $20,000 worth. On top of that, what did you spend $20,000 on? Talk about, I got kids out here. Well, apparently you made the government believe, if we even believe that you got a loan, let's bookmark that. If we even believe that you got a loan for a business, why are you talking about your kids? Shouldn't you be talking about your employees? Shouldn't you say, I got employees out here, y'all, not I got kids out here? Now, let me ask you guys a question who might have heard this story. I guarantee you will hear nobody explain it this way. Because we're the advocates for children. And y'all know that I must have been talking about this story because it has something to do with kids, right? Well, yes, it does. Let me point something out. Why is it that you tell the government, if we even believe your story, because that could be a lie, that you went out and applied for a business loan to take care of your business and employees, which clearly was a lie because you didn't take care of that. You allegedly spent all this money up. You have nothing to give the government back. You didn't even say you had half of it, a quarter of it, an eighth of it, $200-300 of it, just nothing. You're saying it's all gone. Now somebody needs to come help me and my kids. Notice how she didn't say employees, but you want to throw your kids under the bus? Now, why would she throw her kids under the bus? Oh, that's right. Because y'all have heard it from my channel before. That's because this woman doesn't love her kids, doesn't care about her kids, and she only thought about herself and what she could gain from this situation, and she used her children for the benefits, because y'all didn't see the shirt, did you? She used her children for the benefits that she could collect off of her children, which we called that hashtag babies for benefits. This woman does not love her children. She threw her children under the bus for a bad decision that she's claiming that she made. Well, let's talk about this. First and foremost, where did the $20K go? Don't you think she should have been able to explain that while this thing is trending? It has 123 donors. 123 dummies. 123 donors. 123 people who believe this story. And they only believe this story because she threw her kids in there. Imagine if she said that I took out a loan, I'm responsible for it, the IRS is coming after me, somebody help me. Would anybody just help her? No. She threw the kids out there so people would feel bad for her, and she used her children. That's even if she has children. How do you know she got kids? Is it just because, let me not say, almost said it. Is it because the majority of us in my community have children outside of wedlock with no sense of a man around, no father around, no husband around? Because if you had a stable environment, which children should be raised around, then you wouldn't have needed a PPP loan, even if you did have a business. Because you would have had a family unit that would have been able to sustain your so-called business. But you didn't have that. You're probably siphoning whatever child support you can get off of those one or two fathers. It's usually about two fathers, but maybe three. You're getting all of that. And I'm assuming if you spend all the money, then how are you living if you have to pay back that $20K? How are you living? So that means you couldn't be paying bills. You couldn't be paying for your housing, which means you're probably on the system. Section 8, food stamps, car vouchers. Because how else would you be able to live without any of that? Especially when you now are $20K in the hole, because you got to pay it back. But not only are you not paying it back, you didn't give none of it back, but now society is supposed to come in and pay the $20,000 for you, and you're saying, come on, guys. Come on, y'all keep it up. Keep them donations going. My kids got to live. Well, I want y'all to think about this. How much sense does that make for this stupid broad, Lakeisha Golden? She's a golden turd. How stupid is this woman? Let me explain how stupid she is. How stupid she really is. Let's just say if they pay back this $20K that's supposed to go to the government, it's in her name, it's going to her. She is the beneficiary. Matter of fact, if you don't believe me, let me show you guys again. It shows that she is the organizer. It's going to the organizer. She is the beneficiary of this so-called $20K that she's asking for. So do you think when she collects this $20K that she's going to send it all to the government? Let's just say if she did that. Let's just say if she didn't have no part to play in that $20K. I want y'all to think about this. Not only is she already too broke to pay any of it back, but they would pay back that $20K. And now $40K has been spent on her behalf. The government gave her $20K. Society gives her $20K. So how is she going to even allow her children to survive if she don't have either one of the $20Ks? Did anybody think about that? And let alone this. And let me tell y'all my true belief. Here's what I believe, because I don't know this to be a fact. I think that this woman didn't take out a loan. I think she's a damn liar. That's first of all. She's probably lying about that. Otherwise, prove to us that you took out a so-called PPP loan. Okay? Second thing is, if she got all the money, do you think that she would give it back to the government? Hell no, because she stole from the government from the jump. Third thing, how do you even know she got any kids? There's no proof of any of this. Somebody prove something to me, and maybe I'll retract some of what I got to say. But all I'm saying is if you gonna give out $24 million, the least you could do is show your ass up to that business. How many of y'all are with me on that? If you're going to give any business $24,300,000, even $20,000, show up to their business. I think they should have been able to send a federal agent, a government official, a police officer, anybody out to verify the business. Look at it or something. I don't know if you guys have ever actually tried to open a business. Maybe some of you guys actually do own businesses. Do y'all know how hard it is or how much scrutiny that you get from trying to open up a business loan when you're just trying to open up a business legitimately the first time? How they want you to have a written business plan to be able to explain how you're going to pay back this big ass loan of money that you borrowed from them? Have any of y'all ever been through that? But yet you put up a PPP loan program and you go through no checks and balances. That makes no sense. That's stupid on whoever was giving the money away. That's just freaking stupid. But let me say about this woman, first and foremost, somebody didn't even verify if she has kids. Second of all, somebody didn't even verify if she actually took out a $20,000 PPP loan. Somebody didn't verify if she even had a business, if she even had a job, if she even worked, if she even had any employees. None of her story was verified, and people did what? They had their heartstrings plucked on, because people are so quick to just jump in and throw money at a problem. And I've always told you guys, you don't fix anything by throwing money at it. You don't fix any problem like that. And matter of fact, I don't know how they even qualify her as an Instagram model. Why would you even bring that up? It's a stupid thing to even bring up unless you're saying that's what she did for a living. She don't look like a model. She ain't shaped like a model at all. She don't look like a model on no planet. If you put her on planet Mars, I bet you she wouldn't even qualify as an Instagram model. Come on, that's just, everything about this story is stupid. But I hope that somebody does some real investigation, looks into this woman's life, looks into this woman, and really just stop just throwing money at people blindly. Okay? I'm the GoFundMe police. I'm DJ Just J. As a we are the AFC. When we advocate for children first, this woman used her children, or if they even exist, to acquire what she's trying to get, $20,000, and hit a lick, which I think is quite ridiculous. And I think we need to start shutting that type of thing down and stop allowing people to ruin our country and ruin people's goodwill. Okay? From my heart to yours, I love you guys and thank y'all for listening with an open mind and an open heart. I'm DJ Just J with AFC, where we advocate for children first. You have a great day. Y'all have a great evening. We'll see you guys on the next stream. All right? Peace. All right, man. I hope you guys learned something, even if you didn't. I hope you were entertained, even if you weren't entertained. Thank y'all for at least hanging out with your boy for a little bit. For anybody else, if y'all didn't show some love to our sponsors, let's get it. That's not our sponsor.
Nor's Authentic Designer has some of the most glamorous and stylish handbags your girl has ever seen. So ladies, if you want to get fly, and fellas, if you want to take care of your lady, please be sure to go to www.nors915.com. www.nors915.com. That's right, www.nors915.com.
Hello listeners, come mask up with Keyline Designs, where you reap what we sow. We offer essential handcrafted face masks made with 100% cotton, equipped with a built-in filter and a slot for refillable filters. Our masks have many uses like riding motorcycles, ATVs, while out in public places, outside exercising, lawn and gardening, and helps prevent the spread of germs. We offer bling, sports logos, monograms, many assorted fabrics and colors. We make child-sized masks starting at the age of 2. Come join us today for the launch of our new website at keylinedesigns.com. Please be sure to like and follow our page on Facebook. Our links can be found in the description box of this video. Thank you.